Imagine an imposing building, its old stone walls weathered by time and forgotten by society. This is the Forgotten Asylum, an edifice that stands as a grim reminder of a bygone era. Its eerie exterior, cloaked in a perpetual shadow, is enough to give anyone the chills. But it's not just the crumbling architecture that sends a cold shiver down your spine, it's the chilling atmosphere that surrounds it. This asylum wasn't always a forsaken monument of dread. Once it was filled with the hustle and bustle of medical staff and patients. But as time passed, the laughter and chatter faded, replaced by an unsettling silence. A silence that whispers tales of its dark past, of the souls that once roamed its halls, and the secrets it has held for decades. But the Forgotten Asylum is more than just an abandoned building. It's a place steeped in stories of the paranormal, stories of apparitions appearing in the dead of the night, of strange noises echoing through the empty corridors, of the feeling of unseen eyes always watching. These tales have been passed down from one generation to the next, each adding their own chilling experiences to the asylum's haunted history. This place has been the subject of many investigations by both the curious and the brave, hoping to catch a glimpse of the otherworldly. Yet despite the numerous accounts of paranormal activity, the Forgotten Asylum remains shrouded in mystery, a mystery that continues to captivate the imagination as people wonder what really lies within its walls. And while we may never know the full extent of the asylum's dark past, one thing is certain: the Forgotten Asylum isn't just a building, it's a testament to the human spirit, a symbol of the struggles and triumphs of those who once called it home. It's a place that continues to echo with the memories of its past, a past that refuses to be forgotten. The asylum's dark history is not the only thing that makes it terrifying. It's the unspeakable events that occurred within its walls that truly send shivers down your spine. The asylum was once a bustling institution filled with the cries of the mentally ill. This was a place of despair and anguish, a place where humanity's darker side was laid bare. Picture a maze of corridors, unending and unwelcoming, each door leading to a room filled with stories of struggle and suffering. These walls, now silent and forgotten, once echoed with the clamor of those seeking solace from their tormenting minds. The doctors, desperate to understand the enigma of the human psyche, often resorted to treatments as disturbing as the maladies they sought to cure. In the name of progress, countless souls were subjected to the horrors of lobotomies, electroconvulsive therapy, and ice pick surgeries. These were not treatments meant to heal, but rather to control, to subdue the patients into a state of manageable despair. And then, there were the living conditions. Imagine rooms so cramped that they were little more than cages, where privacy was a luxury none could afford. The stench of fear and illness was a constant companion, a grim reminder of the reality they were trapped in. Let's not forget the chilling incident of 1952. A patient named Amelia, driven to desperation by the conditions, vanished one day, only to be discovered weeks later in the basement, her life tragically ended by her own hand. Her story, like so many others, was swept under the rug, but the echoes of her despair still linger, a testament to the horrors that took place here. There were thousands of Amelias, their lives reduced to mere footnotes in the annals of this institution's grim history. Their pain and suffering, deemed necessary for the greater good, were conveniently forgotten when the asylum was finally shuttered. But these stories refused to be silenced. The echoes of their tormented souls still reverberate through the empty corridors, waiting to be heard. The asylum, long abandoned, may have been forgotten by the world, but the echoes from the past, they remain, a haunting reminder of a time best left forgotten. A group of daring urban explorers decided to venture into the abandoned asylum, armed with nothing but their cameras and a thirst for adventure. This was not your ordinary band of thrill seekers. Each member had an insatiable curiosity for the unknown, a deep-seated fascination with the eerie silence that whispers tales of a bygone era. They were united by a shared desire to shine a light on forgotten corners of our world, places that time had seemingly abandoned. As they stepped into the asylum, the air grew heavy, thick with the dust of decades past. The peeling paint and crumbling walls were a stark reminder of the building's former glory. Every creak of the floorboards under their weight, every echo bouncing off the cold, sterile walls, seemed to reverberate with a chilling intensity. They moved cautiously, their flashlights piercing the darkness, illuminating the derelict hallways. One could almost hear the distant echoes of laughter and cries, the indistinct chatter of doctors and patients, the clanging of metal against metal. It was as if the asylum was alive, breathing, waiting. Their journey took them deeper into the labyrinthine structure. They ventured into the operating rooms, the patient wards, the isolation cells. Each room held a story, a piece of a jigsaw puzzle that painted a picture of life and death, sanity and madness. Their cameras captured the remnants of a time when society's understanding of mental health was rudimentary at best, a time when the line between treatment and torture was often blurred. The rusted shackles, the dilapidated electroconvulsive therapy machines, the isolation cells with their peeling paint and scratched walls, they all spoke volumes about the horrors that were once commonplace in such institutions. Despite the chill that ran down their spines, the explorers pressed on. The thrill of the unknown, the allure of the forbidden, spurred them forward. They knew they were treading on hallowed ground, yet the adrenaline rush was too potent to resist. Little did they know, they were not alone. As they delved deeper into the asylum, they began to feel a chilling presence. It was as if the air itself had grown heavy, a palpable weight that clung to them, whispering of untold stories and lingering despair. The explorers moved forward, their footsteps echoing in the silence, a constant reminder of their intrusion into this forsaken place. Suddenly, they heard it. A soft, distant sound. A rustle, a whisper, a sigh. It was impossible to tell. It was everywhere and nowhere, a spectral echo that seemed to come from the very walls themselves. They paused, their hearts pounding in their chests, their eyes wide with fear and anticipation. But nothing happened. The sound ceased as suddenly as it began, leaving them in silence once more. Just as they began to breathe a sigh of relief, a sudden crash echoed through the empty halls. A chair, long forgotten and covered in dust, had inexplicably moved across the room. It sat there, askew and alone, a silent testament to the unseen force that had moved it. The explorers stared, frozen, their minds racing to make sense of what they had just witnessed. Then, out of the corner of their eyes, they saw it, a shadow, a wisp, a formless figure that flickered in and out of existence. It was there one moment and gone the next, leaving them questioning their own sanity. Was it a trick of the light, a hallucination, or was it something more? As they grappled with their fear, the temperature dropped dramatically, wrapping them in an icy embrace. It was as if they had stepped into a refrigerator, the cold seeping into their bones, stealing their breath away. The explorers wanted to leave, to escape the chilling presence that had turned their adventure into a living nightmare. But they were in too deep. They were trapped within the walls of the forsaken asylum, their only companions the echoes of the past and the whispering shadows. They were trapped in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. The explorers managed to escape, but not without paying a heavy price. In the disquiet that followed their harrowing encounter, the explorers found themselves irrevocably changed. The asylum, a decaying monument to human suffering, had left an indelible imprint on their psyches. They had ventured into the abyss and emerged not unscathed but scarred, carrying the weight of the asylum's past on their shoulders. Their once vibrant eyes now held a haunted look, a mirror to the torment they had witnessed. Sleep eluded them, their dreams invaded by the eerie echoes of the asylum's past. Their laughter, once filled with the exuberance of youth, now seemed hollow, a mere shadow of its former self. Their conversations, once laced with humor, became hushed whispers, the asylum's specters ever present in their minds. Yet amid the psychological turmoil, the explorers could not shake off the unresolved mystery that cloaked the asylum. Questions swirled in their minds like malevolent spirits refusing to rest. Why was the asylum abandoned? What atrocities were committed within its walls? And most hauntingly, who or what had they encountered in the asylum's forsaken corridors? The explorers, driven by their insatiable curiosity, attempted to delve deeper into the asylum's past. They scoured old newspapers, interviewed former staff, even sought out the asylum's surviving patients. But the answers they sought remained elusive, shrouded in a veil of secrecy and denial. The asylum, it seemed, was determined to guard its secrets, its silent walls a fortress against the prying eyes of the world. Its history, marred by pain and suffering, lay hidden beneath layers of dust and decay, a macabre testament to the horrors of the human mind. The explorers, though scarred, remained undeterred. Their journey into madness had become a quest for truth, a pursuit of the asylum's hidden past. They vowed to return, to face their fears, and to unravel the mystery that the asylum held. The abandoned asylum remains a chilling reminder of its tormented past, its secrets buried deep within its crumbling walls, waiting to be unearthed.